This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
He was a giant, and he was a cowboy. Now these two former rivals have joined forces to bring you the most insightful, perceptive, and controversial sports talk podcast in America. Former Dallas Cowboys defensive end Jim Jeffcoat locks horns with former New York Giants wide receiver Byron Williams. And now, here's Byron Williams and Jim Jeffcoat.
Good evening, Byron.
Good evening. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing good. Been bothered by the recent news, obviously, what happened to Jamar Hamlin. I mean, that was tragic. You explained before the show that it had happened again with a gentleman named Chuck Hughes. You might want to go back into that a little bit.
Yeah, in 1971, Detroit was playing, and he was a wide receiver, and he died on the football field. This was the first case of death while playing in the National Football League. And, hadn't been talked about that much, but, it did happen. I know his wife is Sharon Hughes, and she called the family when it happened this weekend and just prayed with them and gave us condolences on about what happened. But, we never talked about it, never been an issue before. So it's something that, that can happen. And unfortunately, it did happen in 1971. But good for Hamlin that this hadn't happened. I mean, he's recovering and seemed like he's getting revived, and some great things are happening for him and his family right now.
Yeah, and the first responders were the heroes in this situation. Obviously, we know that he lost his heartbeat, and they got his heartbeat back, and they had to do it 3 times.
Right.
That's scary. But they were there, and we always criticize the NFL about a lot of things, but they had the right people there at the right time in the stadium to help.
I heard a remarkable statement today. 2 of the best places that you get medical attention is in the hospital and during the NFL football games. The top medical staff, top medical doctors are right there, and and that's an applause for the NFL. I know we still got to put some things in place, but definitely they were there to help, and immediately you had the right people there to help resuscitate him and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and I had the opportunity to play in Buffalo 3 years, and I told you about the Buffalo Bills and how they are their fans. Their fans are unique. I mean, this is hardcore football fans, but they don't just care about the team or the players. They care about the community. When you become a Buffalo Bill, you become a part of that community. Prime example is Jamar Hamlin was trying to raise $2,500 for a toy drive.
Right.
It's over $5 million. And I know all the various people around the country have contributed to it. And Irsay of the Indianapolis Colts gave the most. He gave over $25,000 to it. But,
I saw what Robert Kraft gave this afternoon, $18,003.
Yeah, and the 3 is that number.
Yeah, and I saw that it's over 6.3 million been raised.
Yes, and that's incredible, because I heard one player said this is not this is a brotherhood. We play, we argue and fight, but you play and argue with your brothers.
Yeah.
And
at the end of the day, it's all about we all on the same team. And that's what I like about the retired player side. Yeah. When we put the helmets and the jersey up, we just like with the NFL Players Association, with all these, we got 33, 34 chapters across the country, and it's all retired players. But once we hang up the cleats and things, we got it's more important things in life. But one of the things that, we always have talked about this, Jim, ever since we've been on this show, is the locker room and the brotherhood is just unbelievable.
Yeah, because for the majority of NFL players, they spend more time in the locker room than they really spend with their families. And I know people find that shocking, but that's the truth of it, because that's where you are at that point in your life. And right or wrong, to be able to play in the NFL, you have to be in that locker room. You have to be preparing yourself for a game.
And usually we know each other's history. We know each other's stories. We know what college guys went to. We know how we grew up, how many siblings that we have.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, just great relationships. I mean, just one task after another, and seem like we get to know about each other, and they have unique friendships for life.
Yeah, and they those friendships are like, there's friends like a couple of my guys that I play with. We're gonna have lunch on Friday, and it's just a part of it. I mean, these are like my brothers, and they're like my blood brothers, because I've been with them for so long. And one of them had a birthday. His birthday was on last Friday, Tony Tober, and we're there. And we're giggling and laughing, and Charles Haley's there, all these guys, and I mean, but that's what you do.
I've been around you guys. We were together 2 or 3 times this year, and Tony, he's from New Jersey, and you guys got unique stories and stuff. And then I ain't never been a cowboy, but I'm on the cowboy LinkedIn stuff with these guys. Yeah. They talk to me, and then I went out there and showed them how to do these drills. We did this drill at Charles Haley camp, and Charles was sitting down. Charles didn't get up and do nothing unless he had to. Hey, this ain't the way you do it. And then I got out there and did this the quick feet stuff. He said, "Oh yeah, that's the way you do it right there." But with just a lot of fun. A lot of people talk about this and that. Charles grew up in Virginia somewhere over there.
Yeah, he grew up in Virginia on the west side of Virginia.
Yeah, and then Kenny Gann, he was there. He grew up in Florida. So just to get to know these guys and then see the other side of them from them on the football field, but off the football field, it's so funny. It's so
that's true. It was like that in our locker room too. It was a piece. I mean, it was a unique locker room because you had an unique personality. You had a lot of alpha dogs, but I always gave Jimmy Johnson and Coach Landry credit for putting them on the same direction. Because when you have that many strong personalities, you can go in different directions. But we all Bill Parcells did that too.
Yeah, I mean,
can you imagine dealing with Keyshawn?
Yeah, Keyshawn, and then with us earlier, the older guys like me and Ernest Gray, Johnny Perkins passed away, but Phil McConkey, Lionel Manuel, Bobby Johnson, Mark Lavera, all of us still talk. All of us still see each other. And then you get to go to special events at the Super Bowl or sometime at the Pro Bowl. And then, when you have these reunions, teams will start bringing in the older players now because there's just so much joy and so many stories to be talked about.
And no question. And that's a part of your history.
Yeah.
That's part of your history.
But one of the things I heard about Hammond this week, DeMar Hammond, was Halloween, which is my birthday, Halloween. That's the greatest day ever. But the kids in Pittsburgh was wanting to dress like him with doing his toy drive and doing his kid camps. And he has so much, he's 24 years old, and to be a superhero already in the community and in the city of Pittsburgh, that speaks volume for that young man. So
no question,
he's gonna be a superhero, and it's just great that everybody's embracing this and everybody's supporting this and praying for it. And it's just that's what football does. It can bring unity to some happiness and some joy. Yeah,
and right now he is at 50% of breathing on his right now. And they're hoping to get him where he doesn't have to breathe through a tube.
Yeah.
But they said that his progress is good. Obviously, the next 24 to 48 hours are important in him recovering from it. But that's the thing is we want to see him recover. We want to see
Yeah.
him. Yeah, because this was devastating. It bothered me for a couple of days.
It bothered me a long time because, I wore the number 3 in high school. That was my number. And, it was it's just a special number. A lot of people are wearing the jersey now, and the support that's having around the country, and so many, athletes, not only football players, basketball players, baseball players.
Oh, yeah, because you don't want to see that happen. That's not what we play sports for.
Exactly.
That's not what we just see somebody end up in a hospital. And that's just the same thing with Tua. That's the same thing with all the players that are injured. Right. You don't want to see them injured. You want to compete, and there's a difference.
And that's one of the reasons why, you go back and you look at these hits and, the referees got to throw the flag and, people leading in with these heads now. It's just part of the game that we got to take the violence out of the game, even though, the game is so fast and things happen so fast in that football field. I tell people all the time, you really want to just say, go to an NFL football game and stand on that sideline. You'll see how fast and how quick things happen on that football field.
No question about it. The thing that bothered me about this whole situation is there are people in the media that are utilizing this for their own purpose. Yeah. You got guys talking about why didn't they finish the game? We got guys telling it it's the receiver's fault for hitting him in the chest. We got guys saying that it's because he took a COVID vaccine, and they all have their own agenda. Instead of worried about this young man. Yeah. This young man, there was a possibility he would never, ever breathe again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what's the most important thing, his health and his well-being. Yes. And his family. Just think about his mom was in the ambulance with him. Just things like that's what's important. Just you want to say the right things at the right time. You don't want to make your agenda, be picky about this, and you have your agenda about how you feel about the COVID situation, all that type of stuff. You ought to be grateful and thankful that you're here to breathe today. You don't care what situation, what case scenario it is. It's all about, a human life.
Yeah, and you're right, because one of the players that were saying it was the receiver's fault was he played in the NFL. I mean, that's just the way it is. Yeah. And it says, will it affect the Bills going forward? I think it'll give them more purpose, to be honest with you. I think it'll give the Bills more purpose, because the one thing, the reality of it, life is short. Yeah. You only have so many, and we always talk about that. You only have so small of a window to succeed.
Real small window.
And I think they're going to, and it's going to be, obviously they'll have the number 3 on their helmets. They'll take a moment of silence for him. Probably in all the NFL games. If you watch the NFL game, what all the teams did, they put his number up. And Buffalo Bills, every team put it up on their website.
Yeah. Every team did it. Everything is a unit. It's a unit deal. Yeah.
And I don't know if they'll go ahead.
No, I was just saying, and in the case scenario on how fast things change in football is just, you don't know who's going to be in the Super Bowl, who's going to be in the playoffs and things like that. You hardly ever get that chance and opportunities. And then this game is really a real small percentage opportunity to make it.
No question. And it brings back a statement Jimmy Johnson said to our team the first time we went to the Super Bowl. In the first meeting, he told the whole team to enjoy the moment, because you never know if you have that opportunity to get here again. And
Absolutely.
We were fortunate enough to get back there, but he was right. I mean, you had to enjoy that moment, because you never know. And then you see players never know if they have the opportunity to walk out on that field. Nobody knows when it's going to be their last play. Some do, like J.J. Watts, but the majority of players don't know when they're done. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Tom Brady said he was done and came right back. So,
but he had that itch. He still had that itch,
Yeah.
And it's just one of those deals to where you don't know. It's a small window, small window.
Yeah, it is. So, talk a little bit about what's going on in the NFL. other than that I pray every night for him to get full health. But there's a lot of things going on in the NFL. Big game for the New York Giants in Philadelphia. There was a report out that Jalen Hurts was limited in practice today.
Yeah, they said he didn't really practice today.
Yeah,
they don't. What it look like tomorrow, Thursday for him, but I definitely said that he didn't do too much today in practice.
Yeah, and the Giants, it's like I said, I think Brian DeBall is coach of the year.
I mentioned him a couple of weeks ago. I mean, what he have done and how he done it, and how the players embrace him, and how his coaching, how he handles his coaching staff. I mean, from top to bottom, an outstanding job.
Yeah, and the reason I say that though is because they asked him, "What is he going to sit his players?" And he said, "No, we're going to play the game. We're going to play to win," and which I agree with.
And you know what? And when you look at the players, you look at the Giants players, they play with a sense of urgency and correction. They don't make the bonehead decisions, the stupid mistakes that they did year before last. And it's just a whole different atmosphere, a whole different environment. And you can see, Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, these guys are playing. And then, even the no-name receiver like James and the other young man, number 18, I mean, just some superb playing football, focused football. And, I'm just excited to watch them play because it seemed like two different teams in the previous 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. And people, and I had said this on the Sunday show about Daniel Jones. And if you had a choice between keeping Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, I'm keeping Daniel Jones. I'm sorry. I like how Daniel Jones goes about his business.
Well, I just think you got to keep both of them. I just think it just
you like to, but it's probably not.
I think you got to keep both of them. Some going to have to happen the way you keep both of them because I think both of them have done very well this year.
Well, the problem you have is that quarterbacks are hard to find, as we see.
But if I had to keep one of them, I don't keep Saquon Barkley. If you ask me,
I disagree because you can get a great running back.
No,
if you look at the running backs that are being Jonathan Taylor, he wasn't a top 5 pick. Kenneth Walker, he wasn't a top 5. You look at all the running backs around the league, and you can find a running back. But
look how many quarterbacks been playing now this day and time. Almost every roster is playing their backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, but to a certain extent, I just think the quarterback position is such a unique position. And in these used to be.
Look at Purdy. Look at Purdy over in 49.
But here's the problem you have is you got to find somebody, and that was a unique situation.
I still think it's the coaches. I still think it's the part of the coaches to rally the troops.
Yeah, but here's my problem with this is I think Daniel Jones is going to continue to get better. I like Daniel Jones.
Well, I think you see. I think you
can find.
I just think you see the game differently. I just think he was more relaxed playing. He's more confident in playing, making wiser decisions. His pocket presence is completely different. He knows when to run the ball. He knows how to get down. All of that he didn't know he wasn't doing in previous years.
But here's the problem too: is if you look at it as from a financial standpoint, quarterback can last 10, 15 years, but a running back has such a short. Zeke Elliott is a prime example where he was a couple years ago, he was one of the top running backs. Now, in his 8th or 9th year, he's starting to slow down. That's going to happen to Saquon.
Well, let me ask you a question. Who are having a better season, Daniel Jones or Saquon Barkley?
I think Saquon Barkley is having a tremendous season, but Daniel Jones, you're going to have him for the next 5 or 6 years. How much longer are you going to have Saquon Barkley at this level?
Well, I'm going to have at least another 3 to 4 years, and I'm going to try to max
out. You think that long?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's what, 26, 25, 20?
Because he's had some injuries, too.
But I'm telling you, these injuries now is not like they was 10, 12, 14 years ago. These injuries, his knee injuries and all that stuff, I just think I think he's just sharp, and I just like the way he's preparing himself. And I think he's a spark plug. I think he still got it. He's one of the best backs. He's the top 2 backs in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
No, you have your right.
It's a lot of good backs. I mean, it's a lot of good backs. But what I like about him is that he fit the tradition of the New York Giants. He really does.
So
he's the best running back. He's the best running back that the Giants ever had. I'm telling you that now.
Ooh.
The best running back that the Giants have had in his first 4 years. You can look at it.
Oh, no, you said the best running back. I'm going to tell everybody that.
I'm saying for the Giants. I'm talking about for the Giants history. I'm just saying. Saquon Barkley.
I think he's good, but until he wins, I've seen some great running backs. I done played against the Joe Moores. I played
with Joe Morris. I
played against the Otis Andersons.
Otis Anderson. I know about Otis Anderson.
I can't say he's the. I didn't see some great.
Rodney Hampton. I know about Rodney Hampton.
Yeah.
Now Tiki Barbers was good.
Tiki Barber, all of them.
He was good.
Yeah. So I have a hard time, and that's just my opinion.
Well, I'm just telling you, he gonna end up being the number 1 back for the Giants history. I'm telling you that now.
Ooh, that's a strong statement.
That's why I say they're gonna sign him to a real nice contract.
And you had Kyler Murray going to the Super Bowl. You had Kyler Murray going to the Super Bowl.
No, I said he was gonna try to take him to the Super Bowl. I just think. Hey, last year
you had Kyler Murray. And I don't hate on Kyler Murray. I just think that I like players that are team players, and that's why I like Daniel Jones.
Well, this is what I want to say. Congratulations, Kyler. He had a successful
he did
surgery today.
But what happened was interesting. Did you see the picture he put up?
Nah.
He was saying, I like to thank Larry Fitzgerald for checking on me after my surgery. And he had a picture of Brittany Griner there. And Larry Fitzgerald said, hey, I really appreciate you shouting out to me, but I just want to let you know that's a picture of Brittany Griner.
What?
Yeah. He was still sedated.
Wow, that's crazy. and Fitzgerald he's been the mentor of he's kind of like the players going in between the ownership and the management and the players. They've been such a great ambassador.
Yeah, yes, but I hope I read that too, that he had a surgery. The surgery went successful and things, and I don't want to see guys get hurt. I want them to play the right way. I don't want it to be
well, and you also want you yourself want them to be a team player and you want players to say the right thing and want to be mature minded, because some of these young players, it ain't about you and how you dress and what you look like. It's about you, what you're doing for the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way we believe. Oh yeah, Thibodeau.
Oh man, and Jeff Saturday. Thibodeau, after sacking Nick Foles, and he knocked Nick Foles out. And Nick Foles was shaking his hand. I thought he had a concussion, and he went into concussion. But Thibodeau, Kayvon Thibodeau, started doing a snow angel, and it was right next to Foles. He never looked over to see Foles injured. So I understand he's young. He made a mistake. So let's move on. He didn't do it intentionally, and Saturday had a problem with it. But Saturday's problem is with his team, because they didn't play very well.
Yeah.
They got beat up pretty bad.
38-10. I mean, but one of the things that Jeff Saturday got to know, he came in the middle of a storm. I mean, sometimes you can't rectify that storm, man. It's out there, but whatever. But I had told our producer Matt, I had told him a couple of weeks ago that Thibodeau to get ready to go off, and that's what you got to expect on the defensive side right now.
Yeah. And I've been trying to tell Jack Hirsch what about Thibodeau. He was all in the Aiden Hutchins probably gonna win. Either him or Sauce Gardner's gonna win Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year, defensive Rookie of the
Year. But Thibodeau is probably got more long-term upside. And that's what I think happened because he's such a great athlete. Yeah. And his long-term upside is incredible. And I tried to explain that to him. He looks at the short term. We're not taking nothing away from Hutchins. He plays hard. And he's got more interceptions by a rookie, defensive lineman, and sacks in the same season, which is, commendable to him.
Yeah, he really had a great season. He probably gonna get the defensive Rookie of the Year because
Sauce Gardner's pretty good though.
Sauce Gardner is good, but they'll start losing. I think it depends on how many wins, and it depends on if the team can make that playoff. That's probably gonna dictate. They're gonna be the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but both of them. I'm telling you, they had this year was a good group of rookies to come in and make an impact in the NFL. Good group.
Yeah, they have made an impact.
Yeah.
They play. Yeah, there has been quite a few.
They had got 3 or 4 rookies for Seattle that's making great impact over there.
Yeah.
Why they've been winning because of the the rookie.
The Giants left tackle is a rookie, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's been playing well.
Yeah.
So, let's go on to the games.
Let me ask you a question. Who had the most pick right last week in the picks? Who had the most picks, me or you?
It was me. Why?
I thought I had more picks. I was over in Vegas. I thought I had more picks.
No, you were wrong.
Are you serious? Are you serious right now?
Yeah, I'm serious. I
don't think you ever picked me on the week.
Let's go on these picks and we'll make sure. And I'm gonna write it down too. Okay, we got Kansas City at Las Vegas.
I already, Kansas City gonna beat Las Vegas.
Ooh, I don't know. Jerome Jason, is it? Stedman? He played pretty good. He should have beat.
They were getting him a lot of accolades because they had to win that game in overtime last week.
Yeah. Well, they never got to overtime, did they?
Yeah, the 49ers beat them in overtime.
Okay. Yeah.
The Raiders, right? The Raiders, yeah.
Yeah.
49ers.
You're right.
Well, that was a good game. I mean, he looked good, man. They didn't talk about Derek Carr too much over there.
No, but I think Kansas City, they almost lost to Denver.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. I'm going to go with Kansas City, but it's not going to be easy. I'm worried about Kansas City's defense.
Yeah, they defense
Make sure you write these things down.
So I'm going with Kansas City. Who are you going with?
I'm going with Kansas City.
Okay.
Tennessee at Jacksonville.
Tennessee. Well, I was telling you last week, I played golf with Josh Dobbs. He came in and did a spectacular job. Yeah, we played golf together last March at the NFLPA convention, leadership convention. Got a chance to meet him up close. Real intelligent young man, rocket scientist. But I was happy that he had 200-some yards last week. But I'm not going with Tennessee. I'm going with the Jaguars. Who you going with?
Tennessee is a mess now. It's all started when they fired their GM. And I don't know what's going on there. Maybe, I don't know, because I've always been a Vrabel fan. But
and Doug Peterson was my
quarterback. Derrick Henry is not Derrick Henry. It looks like they're a defeated team.
Well, Doug Peterson was my quarterback 1 year, so I'm going with Doug Peterson. Who you going with?
I am going to go with Tennessee.
Good. Okay. We're going to see who's going to win that one. I just think, this is one of those years that Tennessee got to reload. They start off good on the bang, then they lost 6-7 games in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
watch him.
sneaky.
He's sneaky.
You're
Yeah,
right.
you're right.
You're right. He
You're
is
right.
sneaky.
He's a sneaky guy. He might. That's probably
Not
why
me.
he.
He's talking about you. He's telling me to watch you. I hope. I'll go with Tennessee.
Okay, I'm going with the Jags. They beat the crap out. They beat the crap out of Houston last week.
I know they did beat them pretty bad.
They sent Houston home thinking about who they're going to draft next year.
Yeah, I got something later on that, which is interesting.
Okay.
Tampa Bay at Atlanta.
Well, I said Tampa Bay last week. Well, Tampa Bay, they going Tampa Bay. I'm just gonna say Tampa Bay. Atlanta did win the game last week, though. They did win.
Yeah, they won. They beat Carolina. And that doesn't sit well for Wilkes. Now they're talking to Jim Harbaugh about possibly being the next Carolina Panthers quarterback. Coach.
Yeah.
So that doesn't sit. Steve Wilkes is probably not going to get that job. Now, here's the question I have to ask.
He grew up in Carolina, didn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, they said he grew up in Carolina.
Yeah, but Tampa Bay is starting to get healthy, and that's not good for the rest of the league. That's not good for the rest.
I know Evan had 207 yards.
Yeah, what do you have? Three touchdowns, 207 yards?
Yeah, something like that.
So he played.
So who you going with? Atlanta?
I'm going with Tampa Bay over Atlanta.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. New England at Buffalo. This is an interesting game.
I ain't going with New England. Just can't go with them. I'll have to go with Buffalo.
Well, here's the situation.
But you know what?
What?
Last week I went with Cincinnati versus Buffalo. You know that?
Yeah, and I had Buffalo, but it was 7-3, and the game was just starting when, unfortunately.
5 minutes, 15 seconds left. Yeah.
Yeah. But New England at Buffalo, there's going to be a lot of emotion in that stadium. But the only problem Buffalo has is Hamlin was replacing Micah Hyde. And they're going to have somebody replace Hamlin now.
Yeah.
And I don't know who it's going to be. And they just released Xavier Rhodes. So yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do in that situation, but it's going to be an emotional game. But
I tell you what, Belichick going to have the Patriots ready to play, though. I can tell you that now.
Oh, there's no question about that. But the emotion in that stadium, is already a tough place to play.
Yeah,
it's going to be off the charts because they love their Bills. They love their Buffalo Bills.
That's why I just think New England ain't gonna have a chance that game.
Yeah, I think Buffalo will win it. Minnesota at Chicago. Jason's not here tonight.
What are you doing?
I don't know where Jason's at.
I know he's probably still crying over them Packers.
I picked Minnesota last week too.
Them Packers 41-17. The Packers just ran over the Minnesota Vikings.
Now, here's something to think about. Here's an interesting thing. If Minnesota beats Chicago and Houston wins at Indianapolis, Chicago gets the number 1 pick, and they're not taking a quarterback.
No, they're not taking a quarterback.
They probably going to try to trade that pick and get some additional picks and move down, but they're not going to move down out of the top 5 or 6, I wouldn't think.
Yeah. Yeah, they might get that. They might get that linebacker from Alabama.
Will Anderson.
Yeah.
Well, it would make sense. It would make sense.
He would be the guy that you want to build your defense around. Kind of like
over the history has had great linebackers that were in the NFL.
Yeah, kind of like what Detroit did last year, So I'm thinking that Chicago. That's who they want. They want somebody over there on that side.
Yeah, I'm going with Minnesota. I think they can. It's at Chicago, but I still think Minnesota there. And
Minnesota they need to win the game just to be in the top 2.
Yeah,
I think to put themselves.
Well, even if they are, they won't. If Dallas wins and Philadelphia loses, Dallas gets the number 2 seed. And San Francisco, if they win, get the number 1 seed. Yes. If San Francisco loses and Philadelphia loses, then Dallas gets the number 1 seed.
Yeah. Yeah, they both got to lose for Dallas to get the number 1 seed.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go with Minnesota. I think they should win this game. If they don't, they got. And I'm not a Kirk Cousins fan, but I don't think he's the issue. I think. Did you see what Jair Alexander did to Justin Jefferson?
Oh yeah,
he took him to 0 receiving yards in the first half. And,
you know that sometimes that cockiness, you can put that in your pocket. You put that in your hip pocket. You're gonna get tested week in and week out in the NFL.
Yep.
Just because you game last week doesn't mean you're gonna come back and have a good game. And that's what these young guys got to understand. You got to be a professional and be prepared every week.
But here's my problem is that in the big games, the big time players, because we've always said big time players make big time plays in big games. But it seems like Jefferson doesn't show up in there. Cousins makes unusual. I think what he's throw 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
And Dalvin Cook, we don't even know if he's still on the team after last week. And I'm not.
That just goes to show you the Packers got their number. The Packers. Now they just ain't a team that you just show up and just think you're gonna whoop them. They still got some. They got so much tradition and they got some good coaches. And you got to play a perfect game still to beat the Packers. Even though they got a lot of players hurt on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
And some young receivers. Some young receivers. So that just goes to show you Aaron Rodgers is still at the helm.
Yeah, and their defense is playing better in the last couple
they played like that last week. They played great last week.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Minnesota on that game. Baltimore at Cincinnati. This is an interesting game.
Yeah, what's interesting about it?
I think Baltimore
they lost to the Steelers. Who think Baltimore ain't gonna win no game against Cincinnati?
You never know with Baltimore.
Huh?
Tyler Huntley is questionable. That's the only thing that
you went with Baltimore last week, and I went with the Steelers. So that just goes to show you. That just remind me, I'm up on you. I picked. So you go with Baltimore.
I know. I'm going with Cincinnati.
Oh, okay. Cincinnati. All right. Okay. I just want to make sure.
I'm going with Cincinnati. Mac, make sure you're getting all this because you guys will try to cheat me. It's just like fantasy football. What you took last place, didn't you? You were in last place, right?
On fantasy football?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really just was I'm not into fantasy this year. My fantasy, I just went to the whole nother la la land. My fantasy just like, no, I ain't ready for fantasy this year. But I took a year off of fantasy. I'm gonna come back. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna have to take Jason to Top Golf to lift his spirits because as he is in mourning, because no horns, skull, no skull. Minnesota, they had a chance, Jason. I'm feeling for you, but hey, it's football. Every week's a different week.
Jason, you better start just thinking about your son in that championship state high school football game. Just think about that. Because you saying about the Vikings, you're gonna be crying, buddy. You're gonna be crying. Because Kirk Cousins like, hey, is Kirk Cousins sleep or what?
Oh my goodness. Ever since he put those chains on and was dancing in
on the airplane. He dancing on the airplane and stuff. And I tell you what, Kirk Cousins, and you know what? The Minnesota Vikings have won about 10 games to where they were less than 3 points.
Yep.
That right there tell you that they're not a really legit team.
They beat the Giants.
can't be too legit. We too legit to quit. We gonna come back. We have to play them in the playoff. We gonna
might have to play them in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, we do.
But you let's keep going on. Houston at Indianapolis.
Oh man, that's a toss-up game.
Not really.
Who you think gonna win?
Houston. Unless they don't play the game and they get the number one pick. But I'm
going with the home team. It's easy.
Yeah. Giants probably gonna get a rematch with the Vikes.
Well, that'll be a game that we can win. That's for sure.
Ooh, Jason, don't take that, man.
Where your horn at now, Jason? Where your horn at now? Go blow that horn,
Jason. Defend yourself.
The Vikings don't want the Giants. I'm telling you, because you know what? It's hard to beat the same team twice. We don't already let them win one. The Giants come back, we're gonna kick the dog out the Vikings.
We beat the Giants twice.
I'm talking about. Didn't the Vikings beat the Giants?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so they ain't gonna beat us 2 times in a row. That's what I'm telling
you. It'll be in Minnesota, Byron. That's right.
I don't care if it is Minnesota. Hey. Didn't Dallas go to Minnesota and beat the crap out of the Vikings?
Yeah,
that's what I thought. They ain't really the Vikings really don't have no home field advantage at home. And let me tell you something, Jason. I'm telling you right now, January the 4th, if the Giants play the Vikings in the first playoff game, we're gonna have you buy me golf, or either I buy you golf.
Hey, Jason, hey. One thing about Jason, he pays his bets.
Good.
He pays his bets. So I got to give him credit on that. But let's keep going on. So you think, who you got, Houston or Indianapolis?
I'm going with the Colts.
I'm going with Houston.
Good.
New York at Miami. Ooh, the Jets.
The Jets.
Houston, see, Jason pays his bets.
Good, Jason. I'm glad you do.
New York at Miami.
I'm going with the Miami Dolphins.
Miami's going to be down there 13 quarterback. I'm going
care.
with the New York.
Yeah. They just signed Glenn, the guy who's
they can sign anybody who they want.
They just the guy that used to be the backup for the Giants last year. They signed him.
Mike Glennon.
Yeah, Mike Glennon. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. So
you going with the Jets?
I'm going with the New York Football Jets. Well, they're not the New York Football Jets. They're gangrene.
That's why I know I beat you last week in our pick, because you went with the Jets last week in Seattle.
No, I didn't. I went with Seattle.
I went with Seattle.
No, you didn't go with Seattle. You went with the Jets. I went with Seattle. Yeah, I know that for a fact. So you're going with Miami, correct?
I'm going to write this down. Yeah, I'm going with Miami.
Well, all you can do is go back. Hey, you can see the replays on YouTube, and you can see it.
Last week, I didn't have a pen to write with. I was over in Vegas over my daughter's house. I didn't have. So now I'm writing.
That's messed up. You're gonna say your daughter don't have any pens.
No, I ain't have no pen to write with. I'm writing it down tonight.
Okay. So I'm going with the New York Jets.
I'm going
Carolina at New Orleans.
New Orleans is gonna win that game. Saints.
I think New Orleans is gonna win too.
Yeah, I think the Saints gonna win.
I think it's Steve Wilkes' last stand.
Yeah, this is his last game. He's gonna be an assistant coach again after this game.
Yeah. Hopefully, get a good job.
But maybe they might get him a position. Who knows? They did have some reviving. They came back and played some good. They did.
They were like 7-6, I think, with him at the helm.
Yeah.
Okay. Cleveland.
Go ahead.
Cleveland at Pittsburgh.
Oh man, I'm going with Cleveland.
I'm going with Pittsburgh, and because Mike Tomlin never ever has had a under 500 season. He ain't gonna do it this year.
Jim Harbaugh is talking with Carolina. Huh?
Yes, he is. He talked with the owner. They said they didn't talk about contracts It was just a get to know you.
Yeah.
So Jim Harbaugh did talk with Carolina, and he could possibly be the new coach of them.
Well,
too. Obviously,
Michigan,
ran into that buzzsaw over there in Fort Worth.
Unless Michigan give him a new contract, he deserves a new contract.
Yeah, but he ran into that buzzsaw out of Fort Worth, TCU.
Well, anytime you get the ball inside the 5-yard line 2 or 3 times and don't score a touchdown, it's gonna be hard to win the game.
Make crazy plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're right.
They need to kick the offensive coordinator off from up there, whatever. That's all about coaches, man. It's all about making some bonehead decisions, making some right calls out there on that field.
Yeah. So you had Cleveland, and I had Pittsburgh. I'm going with Tomlin. I made a mistake. I was wrong. I did pick Baltimore last week.
I'm going with Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett will have 3 sacks this weekend.
Okay. This is a game, Los Angeles Chargers at the Denver Broncos.
You know who my team is.
The Denver Broncos, I'm going with Chargers.
Are you serious? Are you serious right now? I call it. I'm the one who said the Chargers will be the most surprised team this year in the National Football League. You know I'm going with the Chargers. You know it.
I'm going with the Chargers.
Can't believe I'm going. You know I'm going with the Chargers. You can't. You know I'm going with the Chargers. That's why I'm beating you on my picks because I big picking the Chargers.
Oh my goodness!
This is like 8 games in a row. The Chargers.
Oh my goodness! Okay, here we are. The New York Football Giants at Philadelphia.
I tell you what. If Jalen Hurts don't play, the Eagles can't win. I'm going with the Giants.
Well, here's the thing. Gardner Minshew everybody was talking about this Gardner magic and how he could do this and that. And then whatever Nick Sirianni, he said he never gets too high or too low on the game. But when they beat the Cowboys with Cooper Rush, he's up there. How about these Eagles? I'm talking all this mess. When we beat their backup quarterback, there was nothing said. Just another game. I think that the Eagles will win this game, but I think the Giants are going to give them all they want. And it's going to be a good. This might be the game of the week, if not. The Giants are going to play them. And it wouldn't shock me if the Giants won, but I think the Eagles will win this game.
Eagles start off undefeated. They're going to end getting defeated. So they're going to lose the game. So they done lost the last 2. They done lost the last 2, right?
Yes.
Give them another loss.
Yeah. And that would put them in the wild card position. But if you're not the first seed, then the wild card position doesn't really matter anymore.
No.
Because they would be number 5. They would switch.
Yeah, that moved them down, though. It will definitely move them down.
Yeah, that would switch them with obviously.
49ers?
Huh?
49ers?
No, they would switch it with the Cowboys.
Cowboys?
Because the Cowboys they'd be number 2 or 1, where the Eagles would be number 5. And the Cowboys at this time is number 5. And the Eagles would have to go to Tampa Bay.
What I love about the NFL, you have to play every game the last second of the week.
That's right. That's exactly right. So I'm going to go with the Eagles, and you're going with New York.
Yeah.
Arizona at San Francisco.
Arizona, they lost to Atlanta. No, we're going with them. I'm going with the 49ers.
I give it this. I'm the same with you. I wish the 49ers would lose, but I'm going with San Francisco. I think they're gonna beat them bad.
Arizona, I don't know. They just.
You know what I'm curious on? Has 49ers in this streak beat a winning team? I have to look at that.
They hadn't schedule. They had a softer schedule than anybody else that was in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
I think so. I really
Yeah.
do.
And
Well, they beat Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay didn't have a winning record at that time, right? A couple weeks ago.
Yep. And they won in overtime last week.
Yeah.
Against the Raiders. The Arizona Cardinals probably gonna be getting new coaches and everybody too. They might get new staff.
No, they said they're gonna keep Kingsbury.
They did?
And, yeah, they're gonna keep him.
Okay.
I think they're gonna get rid of the GM.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what they need to do? They need to bring me and you in.
Yeah, that's right.
As co-GMs. The
Yeah.
two brown balls.
Common sense. Who's out? Hey, if you're listening out there, Cardinals, we make great GMs for you.
See ya. We co-GMs. You got two.
That's right. Co-GMs.
You got the Jeffcoat and the wheel. The wheel do it.
That's right. The Bidwells. I hope the Bidwells are listening to. I'm sure they listen to our show. So let's get this done. The Los Angeles Rams at Seattle.
I'm going with Seattle.
I definitely going with
win
Seattle. I picked them last week to beat the Jets.
You did?
Yes, I did. It was no way I was going to pick them because you got to remember, Pete Carroll coached for the Jets and got fired, and the quarterback, he got fired from him too.
No, you know what you talked about. Let me tell you what you said. Well, when you drive from the East Coast and you fly over to the West Coast, and
that's why I picked them, right?
I don't know. I had a blank. I had a blank mind. I was painting so much and doing so much work over there in Vegas. I forgot what I was talking about.
Real quick, Jason, the teams I don't want to face are the 49ers and the Bengals.
Yeah, the 49ers and the Bengals. Those two teams right now, hard to beat.
They're the hottest teams. So, and I don't know how good the 49ers teams they played against. They haven't played any really hard teams. So,
hey, Jason, when you drive up to the stadium, you don't know what you're going to give it to Cowboys. Think about that.
Whatever. I'm going with Seattle. We got two more games. Dallas at Washington. I am going to go out on a limb and say Dallas is going to win this game.
Well, Washington playing a third-string quarterback. They demoted
Damn how?
Carson went to the third-string quarterback, and Heineken second-string quarterback. So I'm thinking Washington gonna surprise Dallas, and they got to win. So I'm taking the Commandos.
You can take them, but you're gonna be running around and your Commandos going, "Oh no,
He does, Commandos."
And then we got somebody, the peanut gallery out there is calling the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is good at home, and he beat Miami, but you see all the issues Miami's having. I would play Aaron Rodgers in Texas.
Dak Prescott's going to have 3 interceptions.
You're still going to win because we'll get enough turnovers.
All right.
But Dallas will win this game.
I'm taking the Commandos. It's always the NFC East. You just don't take the favorite team.
It's not the Commandos.
I'm taking
Commanders.
Because they putting in the third-string quarterback, nobody know. He's a semi-Cooper Rush.
Oh, whatever. Last game is Detroit at Green Bay.
Man, that's gonna be a good game. That's a good game.
Woo.
You know
what? I can taste that haterade.
I'm going with Aaron Rodgers.
You going with Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
I'm going with Green Bay, but I'd love to see that.
Just because of what he said 4 weeks ago, I'm going with Aaron Rodgers.
And then they get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I'm going with Green Bay too. But I wish Dan Campbell could win this game, figure out a way to win.
Green Bay hardly ever lose at home. The last game, the last 2 games, the last 3 games, when they're playing in Lambeau Field, chalk it up.
Yeah, because it's so hard to get to. You try to get off that plane and you're in the middle of nowhere. Shoot.
It's gonna be some cold. And let me tell you something. Detroit
It ain't gonna be that cold.
They ain't gonna be ready for the pack.
Let me look at this temperature on it. It's not gonna be that
cold. All you want to. It's gonna be one of those games where Aaron Rodgers gonna have 4 touchdowns or 5.
It's not gonna be that cold. Let me see. Green Bay, Wisconsin. I can tell you right now, it's not gonna be that cold.
Well, it's gonna be the people gonna be cold. They're gonna be cold blooded from the stands.
Here it is, Green Bay, Wisconsin. On Sunday, it's gonna be 23 degrees. The high is gonna be 34.
There you go. The Vikings ain't used to that.
It's a night game too.
Yeah,
it's a night game.
And guess what?
It is a 7:20 game.
And guess what's gonna happen on the night game?
What?
The wind gonna be blowing in one direction. Watch what I tell you.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna go with Green Bay. I like to see Dan Campbell beat them.
Yeah, I'm going Green Bay. Congratulations, Detroit, on the season that you guys had. I mean, to win that many games in a row and to start off 1-6, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Well,
people don't understand, the last week of the regular season, the NFL do not have a Monday night football game. So this Monday night will be the national championship college game.
Yeah, that's right.
And we usually have games. Usually the NFL have a lot of games on Saturday. So I don't know.
They had it last Saturday. If you before Christmas, that's when they had their Saturday games.
Yeah, that's true.
If you remember, yeah. But we got a couple of minutes. I think Georgia will win their second national championship. I like TCU, but Georgia's a different beast.
Well, Georgia might be a different beast, but I tell you what, TCU is playing for nothing, and they putting their university on the map. Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations to them.
Yeah, and the coach of the year over there in TCU, and not only that, might be an upset.
Might be, but I doubt it. Georgia's like me and you playing golf. I dominate the golf game, and you're there, and you try hard, but I dominate.
I wish I could run that video. I wish I could run that video. I'm showing everybody how Jim hit the ball off the tee.
No, it's
no
right
match. I'm taking all bets.
Yeah. Well, no, the Mattress King, he bet over $1.5 million on TCU.
Yeah. Well, TCU is gonna be. Hey, I'm telling you, they have players that I think now they got the confidence up, and I think Georgia. It's hard to win 2 in a row, so I'm going with TCU.
Yeah, it is. And they almost lost Ohio State if the kicker makes the kick, but I think TCU will win it. I mean, Georgia will win it. I'd like to see TCU win it. So.
Georgia wasn't supposed to win last week, so I'm going with TCU.
Yeah.
We need to go with the underdog.
Yeah. But I'm going to go with Georgia. So put that on there too, because you and the producer will be saying, I didn't say that Georgia will win it. Plus, one of my former players is the edge coach out there. So.
Yeah, I'm going with TCU.
Okay.
I just think we're going to party in Funky Town. Fort Worth.
Well, I would like to see that, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I wanted to wish you and everybody a happy New Year. Didn't get an opportunity to do that. And you've been in Vegas and everything. And it's been a great time. Let's make this year as good as last year as far as this show.
Absolutely. 2023 is going to be the best year. We're looking for some excitement,
Yeah.
Looking for good things to happen. Thank you guys for being a fan. Blessings to you and your family. Have an awesome 2023.
Yep.
Let's have fun.
Yeah, let's have fun. And, hey, playoffs are coming. Pick your teams. As long as they're not Minnesota.
Last game this week. I'm finna do
All right. All right. Hey, guys, have a great day. Have a great day or evening. Have a great evening. Talk to you later. Peace.